Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Miss JD's channel, and today we are going to, as always, talk about how the market performed today in our daily stock market insights. And today I am going to prioritize the requests that you guys have dropped in the comment section. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to recognize our efforts here and yeah, you just inspired me to continue whatever I'm doing. So, by the way, for those people who are watching this for the very first time, you're invited. You can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. Okay, so we have a few comments right here, and we have some stocks that Benjamin Tudoro had requested. So, yeah, I'm gonna check those out. Mostly, these are the banking sector. These are stocks in the banking sector. Renee also mentioned, thank you, Renee CEO Show, for the feedback. He mentioned that I need to emphasize the points so that they could better understand, or you guys could better understand the charts. Yeah, I noticed sometimes I would just plot the lines and I failed to mention the area and the actual number. So sometimes I end up not sure, maybe you're watching it using a phone and the numbers are not very clear. So I guess it's really important to mention the price level. So that's a valid request. Okay, and To, you're welcome. Thank you. And as for Alan, Mary Mart, Lodi, and David. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about the index first. Okay. As for the index, right, looks like this has officially respected this price level that we've been mentioning in the past, 6,300 area, and we have 6,362 level, and we managed to see a solid green today. Although I'd say we're not 100% safe as of yet because we just stopped right at the MA20 line. And again, we're moving lower than the MA20 level, so this can still act as a possible resistance. If we start the day lower than MA20 and then most of the sentiment happens below that, then chances are we could still be revisiting 6,362 level. But in the event we go higher than MA20 line, then chances are that could already mean some, signs of reversal. Well, let's find out. Let's find out how our major players had performed today. Given that this is the index turned green. So I'm thinking that makes sense why uh, Benjamin requested for our banking sector. But let's find out. Let's find out. And see if indeed the story is the same on a per stock level. So let me go ahead and check out the very first one, and that is PNB. I remember the other day I was mentioning PNB. This is it. This was a perfect time, and then there was a continuation. So good job, you guys, for those people who have been very, very patient, waiting for almost the entire year while it was going down, and then 1 year worth of performance was outperformed in just a span of 3 days. So that's really cool. Although I would have to say that this is starting to really look expensive, you guys. So if you may have entered somewhere here, then this is a good setup. You can hold on to it. One could be really for a long, long time because your entry around the 22, 23 area is a solid entry. So um, wait for it to pay off really in a significant amount. I think at that point when you're you have entered really low. That's really good for position or long-term holding. Okay. Now for short-term, right? For the traders out there, and those who want to become a trader, I'd say you're approaching our resistance area, which is around. It's an area, guys. So, if you see that I am slightly plotting it, I'm plotting it slightly higher or lower, then just practice judgment. So it could be a little higher or a little lower. So what I'm saying here is that if this stock is going to continue to move higher, we have to also observe how is the volume forming as we go higher and higher. If the volume is starting to decline as we go higher and higher, then that would mean we might experience some retracements or some pullback first before the next run happens. For those people who know how to use Elliott wave, I think that could be it. You can use that. Okay, so for now, just looking at it plain and simple, support and resistance. In the short term, I see a resistance at the 31.55 level. All right, next stock is BDO. BDO is still creating some stabilization, so I'm thinking this is still going to move sideways, respecting our MA20 line around the 103.39 level to 104. Okay, so wherever you see that line, that could be it. Okay, as of the moment, let me see. Yeah, we have a short term, very actually, that range trading for me, because it is so tight. Uh, it's not worth to do range trading at this point. Okay, because the revenue that you will get will just go to the fees. Maybe you wait for a breakout of the 106 level before you enter. Okay, because I still see this moving sideways. Imagine how much it is. Let's say you enter right here and then you exit at 106. That's just 2%, 2.7%. So not worth it. Okay, wait for it to break out probably, or um, if it pulls back, then wait for it at the 103 area, then just accumulate, right? Because it's BDO, it's a solid company. You don't have to put it in one transaction. Okay, so at least if it goes lower than that, then yes, you can get it at a lower price and you still have some buying power. Okay, look at the bigger picture here. As you can see, we still have a lot of room there to shoot the price higher. Okay, so we're still at the lower section of our lower section in our chart. I don't know, it looks like it's creating this U pattern over here, but uh, it it made an attempt to create a cup and handle, but it looks like it did not materialize. It just went sideways. But because we're now moving higher than MA20 line, and the index, if the index continue to move higher, then chances are this will also create a domino effect here for BDO. The next one is BPI. Okay, BPI. We're still, I still see this as a downtrend. The channel is still respecting it. This is the downtrend channel. Okay, that is your downtrend. So each time we go near or we hit that area, there's a rejection that's happening. So maybe what we can see here is that if it officially crosses the MA20 line, which is around 83.50 or 84, then that's the time you will enter, or I recommend you enter, because at least you have officially So guys, make sure it's the entire body of the candlestick that crosses the green line, and that's the only time we can conclude that it is a breakout to the upside. Okay, so that's our trigger right here. Just know that. Okay, let me also plot that there's your triangle over there. The lower section will be your support. This is your resistance. So that's what I am anticipating for BPI. MBT. Okay, so this is my stock. uh, I took advantage of this. Technically because of this I entered, right? Because of the dividend, but on the X date, price dropped, and then I added some more down below here, so it pulled down my average to a very ideal, a good level. But right now it's still moving sideways. I'm looking at 44.44 per hour support, just around that area. Oops. Okay, so 44.47. So if we go higher than the MA20 line, then that now crosses the downtrend or breaks the downtrend that we currently have. Actually, if you're to look at it this way, it already broke that downtrend. When we crossed this declining resistance, we managed to cross higher. Then normally when we go have a breakout leg, chances are it will revisit the previous resistance and it will create a support right there. So this is exactly what MBT is doing. It pushed the price higher, but short-lived. It just went downwards again and then just stayed right at the area, creating a support around 44.47. So maybe I'd say, yeah, still looking very, very attractive in terms of price. Because if you're to look at the bigger side of things, right? The bigger picture, we are still at a healthy, cheap level. Let's try to check out our Merrimart. For Merrimart, okay. At this point, while I see that this could be a possible bounce around the 490 level, okay, so we had a slight green right over there, but volume-wise, not much of a volume, so I will still plot a resistance at the MA20 line. I'm not saying that the chart will not respect that, but what I'm saying is that's an area where we could see some, signs of slowing down. But if the momentum is really there, the stock could easily break that. But know that as we approach MA20 in a lot of occasions, the stock is also trying to break it. And that's why you see some signs of slowing down. Okay, the next one is low day. Low day. Okay, also trying to stabilize. Okay, trying to stabilize around the 0.99. This is already a big drop, and then try to sustain. Did a double or triple bottom, and then your RSI is giving you what? A higher RSI. While the price was moving sideways, touching the support 3 times. Your RSI is slowly gaining momentum, building that momentum. That's why it's moving higher. Okay, so looking attractive. I see this is an attractive level for low day or lodestar investment. But yeah, might take some time because we only have 154 um, trades. But mind you guys, if you are to check the buyer and seller section in your broker, you'll be surprised to see that slowly the institutions are creeping right? They're putting some funds at the areas you don't expect, or the areas where the majority is fearful. I bet a lot of people are already very fearful as we approach the 0.99 level. But for long-term holders, that's when they enter. Davin, I also have this. Okay, Davin is still trying to revisit previous areas, which was the support previously. Look at this. It revisited the 2.78 level, and I think overall the movement here is still sideways. As you can see, the Bollinger Band is so constricted, so that's an indication that we're just moving sideways. Volume wise, not much of a change. I just want to go back to PNB. See that? So as you reach at the bottom over here, volume actually still low over here, and then there's a sudden spike in volume, and there was a continuation. There are two points mentioned here. The volume, I mean the sudden change in the volume triggering the upper band, I mean the change in the price, sudden change in the price, significant increase in the price, plus it was triggering the upper Bollinger Band. It was supported by the high volume that you have here. That means a lot of people have positive buying sentiment over this stock. That is why there was a continuation. Although as you go higher and higher, the volume is also trying to manifest that the momentum is starting to go weak. Okay. Now let's go back to Davin. Davin is moving sideways and no change in the volume. So chances are we could be, immersing in this price level, 278, somewhere there, to let us say 278 to 286, 10 cents or 9 cents. Um, Still moving sideways, thinking up to this level, right? So I'd say don't take any action as of yet, unless you're trying to accumulate, right? It's just that the volume as well, or the number of trades is just really small. So I'm expecting that it might take some time, but the moment we see sudden spikes in the volume, try to observe what happens the next day. For instance, this one, there wasn't, oh no, not that. This one, two, volume is low, and all of a sudden there was an increase. Sure enough, it tried to increase, but the increase is too small. Okay, now let's check out our Dito. Nice, nice jump for Dito. I thought earlier today it was really going to break the 9 peso level and it's going to move lower and lower. But look at that. We had 1.9 million on foreign buying. We ended with a green. Our support area is currently sitting at 985. The next thing to watch out for is the breakout and the continuation higher than MA20. That's the time when I can, breathe a little bit. But personally, I plan to, hold this longer. Let's wait for the big picture to come out. We're approaching June, or no, May or June. Dito is going to be already here. I've seen pictures in malls where they've already opened their space, mall space. Okay. I talked about video. Let's talk about Acen. I'm excited for Acen. So Acen is still giving everyone a chance. at the 7 peso area. This is the support area. So let us see. This too has a tendency to go higher and higher, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 week worth of solid jump. Actually, before that, it tried to slow down a bit before it continued again. So let us see if that can happen again. Overall, 7 peso is really, really cheap, and I'm plotting a support right at that area. MRC, how are you? MRC ended with a doji. You were a bit higher than a previous day's candlestick. But let's try to observe and take advantage of those dips in case, for instance, it goes down up to the 0.429 area or 0.4235. Uh, that's already a haggle. That's a good level. It's very cheap right now. Look at that. Okay. So I also previously I also was able to manage riding this area over here, but I was not able to reach the peak. I was only able to reach halfway and I exited. No one can predict the exact area where I stock could potentially stop. Even if I do charting here, right? If there's a sudden change in the direction, then we we just have to learn from it, right? So at this point, that's well, if I may go back, the reason why to begin with I'm recording my insights through YouTube is so that after each uh, market day, I go back to my own videos. I try to recall what was my thought process while I was recording it, and if it goes within my bias, then I try to replicate it again. But if the insights are negated, then I learn from it. Okay, so that's really the one of the reasons. Apart from, of course, I would like to share what I know that might help you guys as well. I also have my what's in it for me here. I want to record because every day is a learning journey. I go back to my videos and listen to them. Okay, so maybe you can do the same, right? So I think that is it for this evening, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Feel free to hit the subscribe. Please, you can also share this to your friends so that when they start venturing into the stock market, it's not going to be very difficult because we have resources available online, particularly in YouTube, where they can take advantage and learn from. Okay, for now, thank you guys for watching, and bye bye for now.